The AK-47 Crossfade from the graphic design collection is a very clean looking skin. Ever since it has been hyped and removed from the current armory, I mean it's from the graphic design collection, one of those collections has actually been removed quite fast out of the armory because it was not demanded at all, and these AKs, to be exact, in the factory new condition here. Obviously this is not the best cloth that they got here, but there's definitely better ones out there, and generally in the future I think if it's gonna be factory new, it's gonna be the biggest advantage you can have, because a lot of investors could shift maybe towards these mil spec skins. We've been already at like 16 euros up on the Steam community market ever since the price has crashed to like what, 10 euros. It has been roughly at 10 euros for the most part of it. As you can see, we've dipped down to 8 euros, and on third party websites you can still grab these skins for even cheaper. Obviously there's also already like some souvenir crafts that are existing. They're kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie, like 38 euros, but this one for like 18 euros, which is minimal wear, so still kind of expensive. I think the potential for these skins is generally there because they are kind of rare. Not a lot of these are actually getting acquired because the supply of the factory new light blue skins is actually not huge, just as for the mil specs as well. The factory new conditions could be definitely performing ever since they've been rising like steadily up on the markets. Nothing crazy, no manipulations, nothing, and this is a very great sign for these investments in my opinion. Also, as you can see, I have here some wild berries, for example the Scar 20 from the graphic design collection as well, also a mil spec skin. Generally speaking, if you're gonna buy these skins, most of these will have a similar float, 0.03 for example. Definitely cool floats to have, and I definitely also suggest going for these skins. If you're not gonna invest a lot of money, just put these into your storage unit, keep them for a very long time. There's still some potential, at least that's just my own opinion upon it. Are you tired of super expensive steams upon the community market and you want to buy some new ones? Upon Skinland you have the best possible market prices for these skins, no hidden commissions, a 24/7 service, 100% safe, and you get immediate payouts. Skinland also pays out instantly, so you don't have to wait for your balance to arrive. Ever since the latest Valve update, you can still trade your skins here and Legends trade here. Skinland is the official partner of Vitality. The best work with the best, even Vitality chooses Skinland. And if you want to sell your skins, here's a bonus for you. If you use my promo code RubyJetski, you get $10 for free if you sell your skins for $100. And thank you Skinland for sponsoring this video. I mean, the wild berry in the factory new condition is only around 5 euros up on the Steam community market, which is kinda insane, and on third party websites you can definitely find even better deals up on these. Some of these have pretty low floats. I would not be going for these because they're kinda overpay here. On third party websites you'll grab some better deals, and minimal wear condition is also slightly rebounding right now. There could be a lot of potential to these. Ever since these were like at €1.50, they have doubled in price, and I think that's nothing compared to some other skins that are rising like 1000% up on the market right now. And also, yes, understand that holding these Glocks, the Glock 80 Nuclear Guardian for example in the factory new condition, is very volatile right now, but I'm still doing it just because I'm very bullish on it. I've been believing into this skin since it was like 20 euros. When it was 50 euros we were still believing. In the past few days it has been slightly dropping in price, but has actually recovered very slight already. As you can see upon the Steam community market, we went from like 122 euros all the way down to 112, and on third party websites these were selling for even cheaper, and right now we reached 127 yet again. I think the potential is still there, since if this is a manipulation I don't think that it's gonna last very long, but if it's not a manipulation these skins could be pumping even more, so be very careful, make your own research upon these investments. Also, we're currently giving away this M4A4 Polysoup. If you want to participate and win this purple graphic design collection skin, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up on this video, comment something down below, and make sure that your Steam trade link is actually in your YouTube description so I can see it and send you the skin right away if you win. I wish to all of you in the comments the best of luck, and let's get right into the next investment on our list. I'm also still holding onto our Desert Eagle Midnight Storm from the Rising Sun collection. Yes, it's a light blue skin. A lot of people were very underestimating these skins, but borderline, this is not in the factory new condition, unfortunately. Minimal wear, 0.09. I think the potential is still there for these skins. Yes, they've slightly started to rebound, but I think the upside is just huge because there's actually none of these souvenir skins in existence. They are very rare, and a lot of people are actually gonna use them up in the next couple of years, so the supply of these will be only decreasing, and that's a very great sign for our investments. As you can see in the factory new condition, this skin is kind of very volatile. It has been selling at around for like what, 100 euros up on the Steam community market. All of a sudden we have reached like 200, went down to 150 yet again. went up to 280 euros, and right now we're selling for 256. So it's kind of an up and down, at least up on the Steam community market. On third-party websites, these skins, the prices are kind of stable, but as you can see, the minimal wear condition has been just sold for like 60 euros. Obviously there's yet another one listed for 45, but I still think that there's a lot of potential to these skins. Also, the minimal wear conditions in these collections are also very rare, so they're also steadily rising in price and looking very bullish. In the next few years they're gonna go distinct. Also, the R8 revolver Ember Fade has reached like new all-time highs, has already came down slightly to like 14 euros from the previous 20, which is kind of insane. This skin was selling for like 4 euros, was not desirable at all, and now you can use them up for like trade ups, or I don't know what people are actually doing with these. The AK-47 Slave is definitely a very nice skin to own. It's very liquid, very desirable. A lot of people are buying it daily quite often. So many craft possibilities with it as well, and long term, speaking of it, I think there's a lot of potential. Ever since back in the day, in 2023 to be exact, these skins were worth like 20 euros to 10 euros. Then it came all the way up to like 25, somewhere in that area, slightly crashed back down, and I think there's still a lot of room. Obviously now also a lot of souvenir listings out there. I generally think that there's a lot of potential to these crafts as well, because this is just the perfect skin to be converted into a souvenir in my opinion. The Snakebite collection is definitely not the best one, but definitely has some potential ever since it has been discontinued. And if the Revolution case gets discontinued next out of the current drop pool, I think there's gonna be way more potential to those gloves as well. The skin Tech 9 Bamboo Forest, also from the Rising Sun collection, but this time around it's a gray skin, and in the factory new condition this skin has been performing like crazy. We're currently reaching new all-time highs with every single day. This skin is definitely not the most beautiful looking one, but the demand for this is kinda here, and it could be possible that it's artificial actually. As you can see up on the Steam community market, this skin has been selling just 1 month ago for like 30 euros, 2 weeks ago to be exact. And as you can see already, we've risen like to what, 85 euros up on the Steam community market. It is absolutely insane. I actually have no idea what's currently happening to these skins. Obviously these are rare, and it is kinda hard to acquire with these because you can't get dropped any gray skins in the factory new condition, so of course they get used up over the next couple of years as well, so the supply of these will be actually only decreasing. I think the potential is there, but definitely do not enter the market right now. I think it's already way too expensive, considering we've been at around like 13 euros just 1 year ago, and in 1 year we increased all the way up to like what, 73, 80 euros right now. The Glock 18 Neo Noir from the Operation Broken Fang collection, which has gloves inside. Obviously the conditions up on these gloves Glocks are super important, because at the end of the day it is very important for trade-ups. But generally speaking, if you have this skin, I would not be using this in trade-ups. I will be keeping it long term just because it's a very beautiful looking Glock. It is very rare. There's also kind of a lot of demand for these. As you can see up on the graphs, we have been at around like 200 euros, then we went up to 500, all the way up to 500. It is insane. We have dropped to 200, and right now we've already doubled the money. It's 412 euros, the cheapest listed up on the Steam community market. Minimum wear has also had its all-time highs, so we currently came down to like 60 euros. That's a 40% decrease in price, and came already up like 20, which is insane. I think there's still a lot of room for these skins, ever since the supply of these is not increasing that rapidly. So down the line in the future, these skins will be also going distinct, and it could be a great opportunity to grab these as play skins. But you need to be always very careful up on the Steam community market, and generally speaking up on the CS2 market, because sometimes you buy something, it falls down in price, but sometimes it's worth holding your skins for the long run. Also, it is pretty sure that we found the right price for the sealed dead hand terminal. It's around like €1.40, €1.50. If you can buy these on third-party websites even cheaper, I would be definitely considering doing that, because at the end of the day these have way better ROI than any of the Armory collections right now. Because if you take a look, for example, at the Train collection, or at the Sport and Field collection, or even at the Overpass, even though it's not even getting removed soon, so basically at this point the Sport and Field collection has the biggest ROI, but at the end of the day it is still not worth to go ahead and spend your Armory stars up on these.